In this video, we're going to talk about buffers and how they minimize the change in pH of a substance. So let's look at our picture here. We have a beaker with water in it, and so here's our H2O, and we have hydrochloric acid. I know this because I have hydrogen ions and chlorine ions, and we know that if, let me turn on my pen. If we put HCl into water, it's going to dissociate into hydrogen ions and negative chlorine ions. So let me draw my beaker here, and then we're going to draw our measurement lines. And in here we have water, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw in the acetate, or it's going to be the chemical or the molecule that's going to accept hydrogen ions. So if the hydrogen ions are attaching, if these hydrogen ions, which make an acid acidic, the more hydrogen ions you have in a solution, the more acidic it is. So if we put a chemical in there, or if we put a molecule in there that's going to bind with it, then it's going to will no longer have hydrogen ions in there. So if I put CH3COO minus in here, I've put a buffer, which means it's going to minimize the change in pH. So I'm going to add more hydrochloric acid into this solution, and let's look at what happens. So I'm going to put the HCl goes in here, and it's going to, as you already know, dissociate into H plus, and let me circle that, and Cl minus. And while chlorine is important, it's not important to this discussion, so it's here. We recognize that it's here. But what's really important is if we look at the interaction between the acetate and the hydrogen ion, positives and negatives attract. So if we have CH3COO minus plus H plus, that's going to give us CH3COOH, a new substance. And so it's going to accept those hydrogen ions, or it's going to bind to those hydrogen ions. And since there aren't free-floating hydrogen ions in there, or fewer of them, then it's going to become less acidic, or it's not going to become more acidic because those acetate ions are accepting the hydrogen ions. And let me know if you have any questions.